How's it going?
Straight thing, guys. Hello again for Dashboard Dissect. It is once again a home viewing.
Yes.
Once again a home viewing.
A phone experience that we did not want, but we had to do due to unknown. Due to horrible situations. So yes, once again you were sat on my pillow for the second time in a row.
Yeah, it had to be done.
Oh, this film.
Godzilla versus Kong. Finally, the big man against the big ape.
The one I've been waiting for. I was so waiting for this film.
But so many theories went through our head with this film, and obviously we had the right idea of what was going to happen, like most people did. But
you could piece it together.
But God, was this film fun!
So much fun.
This is such a fun film. Get it now. It's on the store on Amazon Prime and Sky.
It's on YouTube as well. Premiering
as well. Yes. And where do we start with this?
Well,
how batshit insane it is.
Yeah, let's just start with the crazy things. Let's just start with all the crazy shit that happens in this film, because it is crazy from start to finish. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's no character development with most of the characters. They're just there to drive the plot forwards. But who gives a shit?
But this is what I'm gonna get at with this review: is everyone on YouTube has been giving these characters a hard time.
Yeah, I don't see why they're not slating them.
These characters are not unbearable. Yes, you said correctly. They are there to drive the plot along, because this is more for Godzilla and Kong, which it over delivers, I think, with them two.
Oh yes,
we
definitely did not get cheated out of a good fight, did we?
No. Wait, a long fight that ensued.
I just think that I just think that as much as that they weren't as annoying as what other people have said, but I will agree with at least some of them and just say Millie Bobby Brown's character in that, especially the Josh's character, the guy that was in Deadpool. I do think that, one, I don't think his character needed to be there, personally.
No,
he was just there to talk and try and make jokes.
Just to show Millie that she's got friends.
Yeah,
even though she was giving the conspiracy theorist guy a lot of more attention than what he wanted.
Yeah, mate, he was just sort of, he had nothing to do with it. He was just there for the ride. Podcaster guy. I quite liked him. I thought some of his jokes for me didn't land. I thought he was trying too hard to be funny. But
yeah, I think he was a bit too conspiracy theorist on the nose.
He was.
Too much conspiracy.
He hit everything right on it.
Yeah, everything from I was like, do you drink tap water? I was like, filtered. I like you.
Yeah,
that was like too on the nose conspiracy. Not like John Goodman's character in Kong Skull Island, which he was a bit of a conspiracy.
Yeah, but the difference was that he'd seen it.
Or to actually quote him, it was, but those guys are nuts.
Yeah.
The alien people.
Yeah, but no, the good thing of his character is that he'd actually experienced it. He saw Kong, he knew that all of his shit got destroyed.
But that's why I also love with this film the development, because we've been told all throughout these 4 films that there is a hollow earth. Like there's which minds are thinking that this is a hollow earth, and John Goodman is actually heard in the intro of this.
He is, yeah, he's right at the beginning.
Briefly, and it has the old 2014 style Godzilla introduction title,
which I quite enjoyed. Which made me laugh, really, because that gives you the impression that this is a Godzilla film, when in retrospect it's a Kong film. Really,
it is more of a Kong film, but it's
Godzilla in it.
Yeah, we've had 2 Godzilla films, 2 Kong films, which is essentially this one with Godzilla. But Godzilla is not actually. The OG's not really in this a lot.
Not really, no. He just sort of shows up, does what he needs to do, attack people, and then he fucks off, and then he's back when he's called, really.
This was basically the final exploration for Hollow Earth. Kong was obviously the key that they thought it would be, and his relationship with that child, the deaf child that you see in the trailer, pushes that forward. And I really like the bond with that little kid.
It was, I don't know.
Your opposite opinion, but I quite like it.
I just the idea of a giant ape befriending the tiniest of little girls. So that's like you and I befriending an ant on the way to work. So, hello, and you pick it up, you're like, touch me.
Your ant analogy.
I just don't get it, really. For me personally, I just think that how on earth does he even see her when he's walking? Yeah, he could have stepped on her multiple times for all he knows.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, It is what it is. At the end of the day, I don't want to tear this film apart, because it's not been made for logic. That's the point of it. It's just there for a love letter to Godzilla versus Kong fans.
There is some structural logic with there, but it's batshit insane. But the Hollow Earth, when you see it, I won't give it away, but the Hollow Earth, when it's explored, is just the most trippiest thing imaginable. And we were just like looking at it going,
yeah, it does sort of like, your mind sort of melds, doesn't it? It's like,
It's like, it was built up for the course of 3 films, and when you see it, it is like a breath of fresh air, I imagine, because it's something quite Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's new.
The good thing about this as well is that it sort of mixed both our theories into the same film.
Yes.
So you had a theory that it was all that they were fighting due to territory, which was technically correct, because if Kong left Skull Island, Godzilla will come for him to fuck him up.
My theory was pretty much based on the fact that Godzilla controls North America, Kong has South America, and the Titans, the other Titans, which we will get into, because they're non-existent in this film.
They're all dead. Like what?
Apparently in the title sequence, they're all defeated.
Why? It's like, how? Why?
We might have a theory of that, but...
Yeah, I mean, I reckon they might have been someone.
Oh, forget it. You know who it is.
Yeah,
it's Mechagodzilla.
He's in the film. Like,
which is still awesome.
One of the worst kept secrets ever.
Thanks, Pop Finals.
Well, they just... Even in the very first trailer, you saw him. I was like, ha ha, it's Mechagodzilla.
You got confused at one point because you thought, it's like, well, where's Monarch in all this? I was just like, Monarch was more of a kept secret. Secret facility.
They're in the background of this.
And
now
it was
it's more on Apex.
After it was exposed in King of the Monsters, there wasn't no really need for Monarch, really. It was just brought down after Kong and Ghidorah and Rodan. Rodan's a bitch.
Yeah.
At the end of this, we will give a tier ranking of the 4 Monsterverse films, and we will put them in order of why we like them.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is like the culmination. Obviously, the director has said that there was no post-credits scene, which we thought of.
He wanted you to enjoy the film without having to think about, oh, what's next?
If they do have something more in mind, I'm all for it, because the Monsterverse just has so much potential. It's unreal.
It's just expensive for them, isn't it, to try and create all these giant monsters with CGI and make them do all these extravagant, dangerous, destructive things.
Well, they've made the money back.
So let's get into some of the shitty crap, some of the batshit crazy stuff that happens in this film.
Oh my god!
Kong is diving through buildings.
Kong is
Hong Kong is no more. Rest in peace, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong
you have been decimated. Millions were just being killed whilst they were fighting, and I loved it.
We were just like in awe of just like how we had this sort of thing where it's not like the other Godzilla films or the Kong films where the action with the monsters is quite slow because they're massive creatures and you expect them to hit them slow, but this film, they got a speed boost.
As much as I loved it, it did take away the sense of scale and size though, because they're moving like normal creatures now.
Godzilla kind of moved like an iguana that was attacking like a bug to eat. It was literally like
he was crawling across the floor. He was he was running. Full on sprinting. I'm like, what? I mean,
Kong was leaping around everywhere.
Yeah, he was leaping all over the neon buildings, which I gotta say, the visual effects in this film, spot on. They were brilliant.
Skywalker sound, lights and productions,
brilliant.
Top class every time. Like, this looked as real as you could get. Just like even the tiny bits. There's a bit where they have to go to Antarctica again to get through to the Hollow Earth. And when Kong is laid in the snow to wake up, there's a little cold chill down his back. You can see every little chunk of snow that is on his hair.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Every sound, every fibre, it all worked and it was cool.
Character-wise, I'll say back to that. The ones that I thought that were the most impactful in this film were the little kid with Kong. I would say Millie Bobby Brown and the conspiracy theorist to a degree. Her dad from the last one, Carl Chandler, he was literally on it from the beginning scene and the end scene.
He was a cameo, that's it.
He was literally a cameo, but he doesn't really do much, to be fair.
That's the point, we're not here for them.
He's still in sort of denial about Godzilla, about everything that happened, which I like, because it brings back previously to King of the Monsters. Where, of course,
he didn't trust him, did he?
He didn't trust him more than he did his wife, his ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly, Jesus, and she was a fucking nutter. So that's the good thing, and that's the thing, the plot moves so quickly, it's scene to scene to scene, just so you can get to the monster madness, and it's brilliant. I
really wanted to like Alexander Skarsgård in this, but
to
me, he was... I was sort of hoping, because at the beginning, he's like down on his luck, trying to push his Hollow Earth book. Relatable, I know. But for me, I don't know how that feels. I feel his pain. Because we heard John Goodman at the beginning, in the opening titles.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was some sort of relative. Like, because they both figured that monsters exist, literally.
Yeah, and the Titan's evolutionary home was in Hollow Earth.
It takes Apex's billionaire owner to convince him, like, look, we have the technology, which was way too futuristic.
What year are they in? Like, they have got flying heaves.
It was literally
underground tunnels that lead all the way to other cities. I
said to you, it was a neon party in this film.
It was.
There was neon everywhere.
Can't deny they were beautiful to watch. let's move to the fight between Godzilla versus King Kong.
The first fight, we shall say.
Let's talk about the first fight, the sea battle. That was very good.
That was very good. That was a test of both of them, really. But
that was right in Godzilla's domain.
Godzilla had the
owned all of
advantage.
that. In fact, actually, if I'm being honest here, Godzilla owned Kong quite a lot in this film.
Yeah.
Kong barely got his own against him. I mean, yeah, in round 2, he came at it with all fists flying, but Godzilla just absorbed it and then just came back at him. I was just like, which I actually enjoyed because I'm Team Godzilla.
Kong had the agility. At one point, he was leaping from boat to boat just to try and lure Godzilla around.
Funny, wasn't it? Yeah, he was like, right, if I get to here and over to there, I can challenge him. And then he just picks up a plane, doesn't he? He's like, fuck off. So, yeah, anyone that said that Godzilla's not trying to kill Kong in this,
he's trying to.
Absolutely wrong. He tries to drown him. He tries to
claws his chest to bits.
Yeah, that was quite nasty. He was just ripping him to shreds, and then he just
using his atomic breath every time. But Kong was just like, nope, away.
Jesus Christ! Godzilla fucking burns his way all the way down from the Earth down into the hollow Earth.
That was great. We were all wondering what he was doing. I was just like, Jesus, his breath is that powerful.
Yeah, he's just fucking firing it down. Just made me laugh.
Sponsored by Mentos.
What made me laugh is the way then he just roars down the hole. It's like, oi, you wanker!
Yeah. Kong's just like,
come on then.
Kong's like down below with his axe.
With his axe, I'm on my way.
With his axe in his throne, going, get out of my house.
But I really enjoyed the fights. They were crazy. They were over the top. I mean, at one point, freaking Kong headbutted Godzilla. I was like, wait, it's like, fuck off. Kong's being a bit of a gangster.
Kong's a bit of a gangster.
I don't understand how he didn't use his axe a lot though.
No, he tried to get in some shots.
He's got this axe. He landed one shot on his leg, and then after that, it was just sort of like, then again, I think the director sort of made Godzilla throw him around like that to try and get rid of his axe.
Godzilla's got them thick thighs that cannot be beaten.
Because I reckon that if Kong would have used his axe properly and actually managed to get close and deal a few damage, he could have probably fucked Godzilla up with that thing.
Which he sort of did in the end.
So
monsters fight raw.
That's really all there is to it, really. That's all it is. It's just a big love letter to Godzilla and Kong fans. It's like, right.
Oh, but
here's the fight you all wanted to see.
If there's one bit of the spoilers that is a great moment for that, to just honour the original, Kong shoves the axe into Godzilla's throat for a minute. I clapped at that. I was just like,
yes, a throwback.
There were more creatures shown, which I was quite. At one point, I thought Anguirus bloody showed up in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
there was one creature that looked a lot like him. I thought, it's Anguirus.
I thought it looked a little bit like a baby Godzilla at first, but I guess there'll be a video out about that.
No, if there's one film I don't want them to do, is Son of Godzilla. No. Please don't do that one. Please.
No, I don't want that nonsense.
I know the old films are cheese, but that one is just straight up bad. I'll give my 2 cents on that. Just don't do that one.
Fucking ridiculous.
Please don't.
I was quite impressed with the winner. So spoilers. So Godzilla wins this.
Godzilla straight up wins. He beats Kong. Puts his foot on the chest and roars in his face. Kong sort of roars back, and it sort of takes Godzilla back a little bit. It's just like, oh, you've still got fight, but I'll still beat you, chump.
Yeah, and he just sort of turns his back. He's like, I'm turning my back to you now. Like, see you later. No, I like the fact that Godzilla won, because Godzilla is the more powerful monster out of the both of them. He's got much more durability. In terms of, he can just absorb hits and then just deal them straight back. It does make me laugh watching him fight with his little arms. It does make me laugh.
That claw uppercut just took Kong for a ride and the freighter.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, come on then.
Is there any gripes we could get to this film? Is there anything that's sort of just like...
Well, I mean, if you really want to go for gripes, there's loads of gripes, really. But I try not to focus on it because I just wanted to enjoy the film for what it was, you know?
It's like my 2 cents.
There's loads of silliness in this. There are loads of things that wouldn't happen. There are loads of things that you think, like, really? Like, that's the bit. I mean, the script, for example, is so basic and generic. It's like...
Yeah, but like we said, it's like, I don't want to give too much out to the characters because they're not like... A good example, the scientists from King of the Monsters. They're not dull to the point where you're just like going, fucking come on, get through it all, we know this. There weren't no characters like that scientist guy with the glasses from the last film. I despised him.
Making stupid assumptions. Yeah.
They needed more characters similar to that in Kong Skull Island, which was more grounded. They knew their motives and they had little good moments with there. This one, it doesn't have any good moments with the human characters, but you at least know their purposes. Yeah. And it's not dull. Like, this film goes ideally, it was great for 1 hour and 52 minutes. We were looking at it and going, I thought it was going to be like 2 hours, but
yeah, no, it was much better.
It sort of works.
So let's talk about the finale.
The finale.
The finale is fun and goofy as it is.
Dressed.
So Mechagodzilla
is a thing, and he's being trained by little skull crawlers, which I'd quite like to see them return, but they just got taken out like little chumps because they were training.
Yeah, he just killed them. That was his point. It was just they almost like they were breeding skull crawlers.
But the thing that cut my attention to it was the relevance for King of the Monsters, the end scene where Ghidorah's head is still left. The terrorist guy, whose name I can't remember, the Game of Thrones old man,
Alec Jonah,
whatever. He is not in this movie at all, so I'm just like wondering, did he just sell the head to Apex and then get his money's worth?
Or unless he was part of Apex.
Like, it's not even bloody mentioned.
I don't know what happened to him, but all we know is that skull at the end of King of the Monsters has a part to play in this because it's still. Ghidorah's head is powering Mechagodzilla, but it needs a host to be the main frame of the brain. From what I've understood, is that there's actually two.
There's two.
One of the skulls is sort of embedded in Mechagodzilla's head, so that the two skulls can communicate telepathically to each other.
Maybe that's why it's
which is why it makes me laugh.
It was quite surprising, actually, that the billionaire's henchman was a Serizawa, which got through us for a loop. We thought, wait,
he was a waste.
A very big waste.
He was just there to Pacific Rim everything, and then that was it. Godzilla was getting his ass whooped by Mechagodzilla. He was ramming his head into buildings.
It was just when he
throwing him around.
It was just when he was figured, like, right, I need my axe now. And Godzilla sort of like saw the power, which the fight from Hong Kong earlier suggested, that it absorbs, like in the trailer, Godzilla's atomic breath. It holds it as a shield banner, and as soon as Godzilla realizes this, Kong's being choked out again. He gets choked out a lot in this film.
His ass ended quite a lot. But he does get the final kill on Mechagodzilla, which was cool.
He literally hacks him down.
Just hacks him away. He's like, right.
Bit by bit, and gets the final word in with the head decapitation.
He rips it out. Good thing he doesn't suck the brains out of that thing. That would have tasted of oil. Ugh.
Now, at the very end, I thought for a minute that Godzilla was leading Kong somewhere.
Well, yeah, when he sort of like whacked his tail, I thought,
Godzilla's going back into the ocean, and he sort of turns around again and looks at Godzilla. Kong. I thought for a minute there, I was just like, don't you fucking wink at him. Don't you dare give him a wink.
A lot of people wanted like a fist bump or a handshake, and I was just like,
no.
Fuck off. I know this is ridiculous, but let's not do it. I mean, a nod would have been fine. I reckon it's a little like
an animal sort of nod.
But it was got him wrong. My theory about them leading their own domains was good though. I liked that. The fact that Kong now controls the Hollow Earth and Godzilla is now left to reign on up top.
I can find that quite funny actually, because Godzilla's basically like, look, mate, you're not on the level of what I am. You get to handle the bugs down below. I'll handle the big shit here.
Even though I was just getting my ass kicked by a machine that looks just like me.
Like, Godzilla's a dick in this movie. He's just like...
That's the thing.
He's a bit of a dick.
They just make him a villain just out of nowhere. Like, they don't really... he doesn't really get much chance to...
But obviously we know the reason why he was being a dick.
Yeah,
they're but even till the end, I was just like... You're filling your own boots out here, aren't you?
Yeah, they did give him some sort of piss poor excuse as to why he was being the way he was, but who cares?
I'd say it ends pretty abruptly as well.
It does, yeah. It's just Kong's in the Hollow Earth. That's it. End off. It's all right. End off. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy.
So we give the final verdicts for this film. Final verdict. Easily, it's absolutely fun. I'm giving it what you gave Zack Snyder's Justice League, the last one, which is 4.5, which is 4 and a stump. Stump for a thumb.
I want to give it 2 ratings for me because
2.
Well, yeah, because I think that I think there's aspects to it that need to be picked up on. So, for example, I'd give it a 1 for its sensibility and structure, which is non-existent, but for fun and entertaining and raw action and sheer coolness, 4.5 definitely, because it's
so
just.
If we were to take that one off of that last rating, would it equal to 3.5 for you?
I'd definitely give it a overall, I'd like to say it's a good 4.5. I enjoyed it.
Same as me, 4 and a stump.
I enjoyed it. I just think that the structure of the plot was just ridiculous. But fuck it, that's not what we're there for. That's what I've enjoyed. So you wanted to rank them now, didn't you? For all 4 films.
Right, we're going to do the MonsterVerse tier ranking. From what we've got so far, the 4 films, I'm not including the comic book series that also ties into this, which gives the humans a little bit more tradition. But
we don't care about that.
It's like Star Wars stuff. It's just like, don't force me to read a book just so I can understand it.
Yeah. If you're gonna give me some shit or give me information, give it to me in the film. Don't tell me in a book because you couldn't be bothered to think of it there and then.
Yes. So, in order for me,
yep. What's yours?
Kong Skull Island is still the best for me.
Okay.
It's still the best because not only is it like Godzilla 2014, where the monsters are built up in a very suspenseful way, the island is just a pure mystery. There's like monsters jumping out everywhere and you don't know what they are. The humans are interesting, and the backstory, well, this is what's lacking in Godzilla 2014. It's hinted, but with this you actually see Monarch and all the conspiracies lining up, which sort of builds up the intrigue of what these monsters and the Hollow Earth theory is. And I absolutely love that, especially with the theme of this movie, which is set in the 70s, which is great. So Kong Skull Island for me is top. Second for me would be... it's hard. I would definitely have to go... No, I have to put it. It's Godzilla 2014. It's Godzilla 2014 for me. Now, I know you don't like the really long Jaws-like build-up, but to me, that works. When I saw it, I was in awe. I was so happy to see Godzilla back. And just after being away for like 10 years when he got teased with that trailer, I was anxiously waiting to see what he looks like. And when it delivers, Gareth Edwards is a star at making things look massive, and it shows. Cut his porn movie from his trilogy.
That should be his trademark. I know how to make things look
big.
massive.
Do you want me to show you what makes it big?
Oh dear.
My camera techniques.
Okay.
Easily 2014 has the suspense for it. It doesn't have the mystique, but it's second best for me. And the introduction of the Mutos, everyone complained about them, but I honestly thought they were a great new addition of monsters. Because you'd have to go bizarre and try something new. And I kind of liked it that Godzilla wasn't up against a familiar foe. Because some people would just not be like, you need to gather fans in. It's like people will know the name Godzilla, but they don't know like some of the monsters there. And it needed like 2 films to sort of like get into the swing of things, saying like, oh yeah, there's lots of other monsters in this universe. So, and Kong Skull Island, which is the top, shows that. And I personally think it's a great suspenseful movie. And that San Francisco bridge scene will never be topped, in my opinion. Never. That is the best like scene I've ever seen with Godzilla with these new movies. So he goes second. Thirdly is Godzilla vs. Kong. This is pure batshit insanity, a fight fest for the ages, which it strongly delivers and gives you a clear-cut verdict of who would win, which is great for what the other movies deliver, which I thoroughly enjoy. The human elements of it are a little bit slow, but they're not boring as shit to the point where you just want to skip everything. It is thoroughly enjoyable, like we've just discussed with this. I don't think any more needs to be said. And of course, lastly is King of the Monsters. This movie has the best soundtrack out of everyone because it's the one and only Bear McCreary. He is great with these types of soundtracks. I absolutely loved his rendition with the new soundtrack, with the Japanese chants as well from Warriors. That always built up suspense in that film. Ghidorah and Rodan were great to see in this movie. They were built up brilliantly to the point where they were just like overpowering everything. And some of the stuff that they do with Godzilla is just like, well, it's breathtaking in this when he just emerges from the water again. And the only downside to it, as much as Millie Bobby Brown is better in this movie than she is in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Use her talents more.
Yeah, her talents was shining a lot more with this because she was quite big at the time, but with Godzilla vs. Kong it sort of faded down when Stranger Things is not really being talked about as much. But and there was other characters. Ken Watanabe is the standout, obviously, and he gets a lovely send-off with Godzilla. Blows up his house.
Yeah. I'm gonna set you free.
You're my friend.
Yeah.
Hit the buzzer.
Yeah. Kill him.
Yeah. And that's my opinion. That's my list. What was your list, please, Samuel?
Stay silent for that to let you speak. My list, right? Well, I'm gonna go. I'm an action guy personally. I prefer my action over some. I do like a good story, but in these type of films, sometimes it's difficult to weave a good story because You're not interested in that. You just want to see the monsters. So for me, Godzilla vs Kong is top for me, just because I loved the action. It's what I wanted to see from the beginning. I wasn't a fan of Godzilla 2014. It's grown on me over the years, just because my expectations for that film were so high. I was so pumped to go and see that film that when I saw it, I was so disappointed, because I wanted to see Godzilla. I wanted to see him in action. I wanted to see him fighting and destroying shit. I wanted to see him actually as a villain then, but they didn't give it to us. They made him the hero, and they changed his backstory, which I thought was a bit all over the place, but that's just my opinion. So Godzilla vs Kong straight at the top, because just for sheer madness and titan action, it's what I wanted to see. But then once again, King of the Monsters is second for me, because it had some decent action. I was a bit annoyed about some of the action, because it still renders the whole humans getting involved, and you know, you see 3 seconds of them fighting, and then 5 minutes of the humans running around like ants trying to get away from it all. I don't like the idea of them being right in the midst of the fight, because it just makes you think, like, wait on a minute, like you wouldn't be that close. Like, there's no way you'd be right underneath their feet, because all they got to do is just move an inch, and boom, you're stepped on, you're fucked. But it does give you a good way to get in, you know, to really get in the inside of the battle. But I liked the fact that in Kong vs Godzilla, you know, they're in ships, so they're safe from the battle. They're just sort of flying around, sort of like in the original one, you know, where they're in the helicopter, just sort of like watching, and you can just leave it to the monsters to fight
until Rodan shows up.
Yeah. So
he's a bitch. Rodan's a bitch.
He's a bit of a bitch, isn't he? So King of the Monsters ranks number 2 for me. I'll say I did enjoy Skull Island, as pretentious as it was. I did enjoy it. I liked John Goodman's character until he got eaten. I'm still salty about that. Yeah, it was a bit of a shitty way to go. I did like it. It was a bit of a less interesting version of Godzilla, really, in my opinion. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the carnage of Kong just leaping around and beating up skull crawlers and all of that. And it does drive whatever plot they've got going with the Hollow Earth theory. And then last for me was just Godzilla, because I had so much expectations for that film. I was so hyped that they were making a Godzilla film. It's like, oh, wicked, like an updated version of Godzilla. What's he gonna look like? What's he gonna do? He doesn't do a lot. Okay, so we only see him for like 3 minutes, maybe more. That film should have been titled US Army with special guest star Godzilla. He was hardly in it, and I didn't like that. I mean, it's grown on me more now, because I do like a structured story. But when you're trying to play too many conspiracy theories and try to make a film like that too serious, it just, for me, it undermines it. We're not there for that. We're there for the monsters. I understand that it obviously costs a lot of money to make these things, and to have these monsters on screen all the time would be costly. And another thing as well is that I did enjoy the Mutos, but the problem is that when you have a creature like that up against Godzilla, there's not much you can do for a fight. Yeah, that's like putting a praying mantis up against a butterfly. It's just, what can you do? There's not much. All he's going to do is he flies around for a little bit. He maybe lands on him and bites him, and he flies. He's like an annoying mosquito. He's like, nah, bye-bye.
Hey,
and then he'll be
that's
back.
a disservice to Mothra.
She's not exactly very exciting, is she? She's just a giant moth.
Oh,
that's all it really is.
Wait for the Mothra fans to fly around you now.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat your clothes, boy. But no, that's just my opinion. I just think that when you create these creatures, you've got to give them something to do in terms of fighting. Give them some weapons that they can use to defend themselves. Don't give them wings that burn up in a heartbeat. But you know, at the same time, it is what it is, and you know, I enjoy them for what they are. That's my ranking, personally.
That's all our tier list ranks. Let's quickly just give you a heads up what Adam thinks of that.
10 out of 10. No, I'm kidding. It was like 7 out of 10. Good film.
Wasn't that hilarious?
Yeah,
I don't know what he said. But
I was just about to say, we did that last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
What did you think of the film?
Oh God, him again.
He probably didn't even give a shit, did he? He was just...
Look at him showing his arms off now. He's getting a bit of sunlight on him.
He needs it.
You look different. Righty everyone, that is our take on Godzilla vs Kong. We hope you enjoy it as well. Make sure to find it at any store possible.
And we will be watching it in cinemas.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to experience this on the big screen. I was actually really pissed off that I couldn't.
Even the director was.
Yeah, but you have a big TV and I have a big TV, so we have our own little home cinemas in our rooms. So it's not the end of the world.
It's not comparable to a cinema screen.
No, it's not. No way near.
No.
As soon as it's open in cinemas again, we will be back to go and see it. So I want to experience this in the big screen.
One more month for us in the UK. I'm really ticked off for you Americans get it first. Hate that.
China got it before America.
I know.
Yeah, there was one.
It's a freeway dance. We're pissed off at them. Americans pissed off at China.
Yeah.
Full circle.
The whole world is pissed off at China. Fucking shut us all down and open up first. Huh?
Right, you guys. We will see you in the next one of Dashboard Dissect. I've been George. This has been Sam. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure to check out my books on Amazon and as well as my Teespring merch store down below. See you guys soon.
Catch you later.
Did you notice, like last time we did this, there was no outtakes? We did for Snyder's Justice League.
Oh yeah, we sort of like.
We had no fuck ups at all.
No, we sort of got through that quite well.
Aren't we professional now?